Welcome to the end of the month live BumbleKast Q&A session. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Kraus.
Hi. Wow. You guys are no joke. You guys were sitting there with your hands over the enter key, just waiting to tap.
You love me or hate me, guys.
Well, we love you, Jen.
Yes.
Big thank you to Jen.
Yes. Thanks,
for helping
Jen.
wrangle all the questions.
Yes. I don't know. We might have just already asked as many questions as enough questions for this episode. Like, I'm serious, guys. Like, this immediate floodgate opening might be like our entire episode's worth of content.
Well,
that's insane.
Just in case.
And now super chats are coming in too. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. Anyway.
Quick rundown. Please ask one question at a time. Wait until your one question is answered before you ask your next one. That way we can try to get at least one for everybody answered.
Yeah.
Super chats will get priority and will definitely get answered on the show, but we may have to cut off super chats if y'all are just too generous. And we'll go for as long as I can. So, or 2 hours. We'll see which one comes first.
Yeah.
But we got a lot to do, so let's get to it.
That was very fast. We do indeed. Just going to get started off with some of these standard questions because Jen hasn't even gotten the listening to super chats yet. And that's okay. That's okay. So you guys with the super chats, please be patient. Here's a question starting us off from Stephen A. Hey, Ian and Kyle, what's your favorite two-parters from Star Trek? Is it Chain of Command with Captain Jellicoe being the most polarizing captain ever?
I don't know the episode names off the top of my head, but the Jellicoe one's okay, primarily just because for the episode of Picard and the Four Lights. The two-parter with Locutus ranks up there because of the part 1 season finale cliffhanger. The follow-up episode's kind of weak sauce, but damn if that ending isn't just fire every single time. The joke being there that Riker says fire. Anyway, and I can't remember now if it was no, I guess it doesn't really count as a two-parter. I'm just thinking of the one season finale for DS9 when Gul Dukat comes back to Terok Nor and takes it over. But that kind of set up the entire next season. That's not really a part 2. So
I don't know, man. I can't remember any of this off the top of my head. So, yeah. It's been so long since I've watched anything Star Trek related. Other than the recent movies, which are okay, but they're not two-parters. Here's a question from Pedanticat. Would Omega be impressed by the level of destruction Launchpad can create when driving anything?
To a point, until he realizes that it's unintentional. And then he would, I don't know if he'd be disappointed or jealous. So much destructive power without even trying. What am I doing with my life?
Here's a question from the Saxon question. In imposter syndrome, it's implied that Surge and Kid are still under the influences of their hypnotism. Is this intentional, or are they free and acting without influence?
That is the scary question, isn't it? Just how much is Starline still in their heads, and how much of it is just kind of the conditioning he put them through. And that's something that's going to be kind of explored going forward. So I can't really say just yet. But buckle in, because Sonic 50 is kind of the culmination of a lot of stuff, but it's also the launching point for a lot of stuff. So,
oh boy,
the ride never ends, baby.
Oh boy. Here's one from Metal Skulkbane. That's it. Lately, I had the worst luck with live stream questions, so now I'm asking 3 questions at once. Got that? Wait, what was that a question? Oh no, what have I done?
You have given me a hearty chortle. That is what you have done. And yes, that is a question. Moving on.
Yes. Yes, it is. All three of them. Okay, well, I think with that, we're going to move over to the super chats because they have started appearing. So I'm going to jump on over there and get started off with one from Chaos Sonic 1. With the mess that is with Boing Kid with Sonic, what is with this series attracting hacks that never like having fun? Not Evan, by the way. My words, not Kyle's. I didn't say that. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway.
I am going to very delicately sidestep this one.
Yeah.
Just because I am a freelancer. So I do not represent any company that I freelance for, but I am kind of synonymous with the Sonic brand at this point.
Yes.
And that comes with a lot of expectations. So it's better that I just don't say anything so that I don't piss off the wrong person, so that they point at me and saying, he is clearly defaming me, and therefore I am going after whoever because I've been defamed. It's obnoxious, but I gotta play it safe.
Yep. Smart move. Smarter than me.
Don't give me too much credit.
Well. Here's a question from Testing. Why are there springs and launch pads laying around on stages, and who made them?
Oh, they're just natural formations.
Yeah, they just grow there. Yeah.
Yeah. Every season, nice rain comes through. And
yes.
April showers bring springs. You know how the saying goes.
Yes. Also, thank you, Testing and Chaos Sonic 1 for your super chats. Very much appreciated. Here's a super chat question from Nicole Plated. Thank you. How would a comedy routine with Bean and Comedy Chimp go? Would Bean actually know who's on first?
No, but he wouldn't get the setup for it. So let me ask you, Bean, who's on first? I don't know. No, that's not how it goes. It's I don't know who's on third. I gave you a script. Yeah, you did. and you read it, right? You're assuming I can read. And it would kind of go from there, and eventually there would be pies in the face and explosions, and the stage would burn down, and Comedy Chimp would be left as a smoldering ruin of a man. But that's how he started the show. Ba-rum-bum.
Exactly. Yes.
Also, that is my absolutely god-awful rendition of Comedy Chimp.
I was going to say, that's
apologies.
just Vector.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Good enough. It works. It's fine. Here's a super chat question from Joey the Sonic fan. Thank you. In Scourge Lockdown, some of the Zone Jail inmates were evil versions of Cream, Vector, Ray, and Lupe. Are they from Scourge's world? I really hope so.
I would say no, not to burst your bubble, but mostly just so that we don't have everything coming from the evil verse in Zone Jail. There's a lot of zones.
There could
old multiverse was.
There could have been other evil versions on other universes. It's not guaranteed, you know.
I mean, if it was just, you're an evil character and therefore you get locked up, they should have just locked up the entire Anti-Mobius at that point. So.
Oh well. Here's a question from Master Sword 648, a super chat. Thank you. Does Xena break the pants rule? She is female and doesn't wear them. Or if she does, then that means Zavik does wear them, and that is also forbidden. Oh no. You're poking holes in the logic, I guess.
Yeah. And to further that, Xena's hair is kind of a questionable thing because everybody else's hair is distinctly a different color, and hers is her body color for the most part. So is that just like one giant fleshy mass coming off the back of her head? I don't know, man. The Zeti play by their own rules. That's the best I got for you.
Yeah. That's it, I guess. All right, let's jump over into some standard questions for a little bit, starting off with the one here from Syed C. What do you think is the deal with the Sonic franchise having so many Sonic lookalikes / fakers or those riffing on Sonic style? It has more than doubled than most properties do. More doubles than most properties do. Sorry.
I don't know about that. I mean, how many incarnations of Spider-Man are there?
And Superman.
Not counting his various suits. I mean, Venom is big, scary Spider-Man, and Carnage is bigger, different, scarier Spider-Man.
Yes.
And Toxin is a riff on that, and Doppelganger, and Spider-Side, and Deathweb, if you remember that guy. In your Batmans, you've got, who all is it? Like Prometheus and Azrael and Man-Bat, which is, I'm counting that one. It's just an inversion of the nouns, okay? It's a thematic thing. So I think it's just more of an extension of, here's the main character with a very approachable core aesthetic.
Right.
Which lends itself to lots of permutations.
Yep. And we got a question here from Jeffrey St. John. I've been recently watching some videos of the Archie Sonic crew at Comic-Con, mostly from 2010 to 2015. To Ian and Kyle, are there any memories or stories you remember during Comic-Con?
No, Lord. Yes.
It's a blur in a sense of years. Like, I don't know. I only was really there for 1 year, technically. I mean, 2 years, yes, but the second year I went inside, but I didn't actually do anything except hang out at the Archie booth. Which is also what I did most of the first time, but not entirely. Anyway, go ahead.
There was this one family who would come by every year, and it was really fun because I basically got to see the kids grow up until, it got to a point where they came by the table and they were all taller than me, and they were like graduating high school, and it's like, okay, now stop. Now I just feel old. What have you done to me?
Yeah.
One very memorable show, a couple guys come by the table. One of them is a huge Sonic fan, is super excited to see it, and his cousin doesn't care. Sonic is stupid. He has no interest whatsoever. He's being kind of fun about it, but he's got no interest whatsoever. And I look at his purchases from the tables and go, "That's a nice sword, man." And he goes, "Really? You're interested in this?" And we start geeking out about how cool swords are in general. And we're all still friends. We still keep in touch on Facebook and stuff because we bonded over swords and Sonic. So, Sparks, Blanks, if you're listening, guys, shout out to you. San Diego Comic-Con one year, once you leave the show, it's a giant block party outside.
Yeah.
At least it was when I went.
Yes.
And Ali and I were leaving the show one night, and we're passing by this patio restaurant, and there's at least a half dozen luchadors in business suits who all look over and toast us with their beer steins. Oi! It's like, what fever dream am I living right now? I love it.
Yeah, it's a heck of a thing outside of San Diego.
I will never forget
insane.
This one dude. He was there with his family. He was the only one cosplaying, but he was cosplaying Super Saiyan 4. Okay, and he was in the full regalia, and he had the body for it. This dude was huge. He was probably broader across the shoulders than I am tall. Just a wall of muscle and meat. And he was rocking the hair and the fur trim body stuff. And I only saw him at a distance, and I really wanted to see him closer. But God, he was great. Then I just love all the cosplay stuff. The great cosplay, the bad cosplay. The poor fellow who showed up in a Magneto costume entirely made out of felt.
Yeah.
So that the little hood ornament on the helmet was kind of floppy and droopy, but darn it, he's out there, and that can't have been a comfortable costume. You must have been roasting alive, but he committed to it. So
yeah.
Cool on you, dude.
Yep.
There was a fan expo one year where I'm trying to get downstairs to find something to eat, and I see one of the dudes from Warhammer fighting a Dalek.
Sure, why not?
Just all the cool people I got to table with over the years, meeting all the various Sonic freelancers and swapping war stories of fan interactions.
Yeah.
And just seeing all the people who are super excited just to come into the book, or all the people who are, coming up and they're like super shy and scared. It's like, oh my God, I'm meeting Ian Flynn. It's like, please stop. I am not worth getting worked up over. I am super flattered that you even came by the table and know my name. Please, just, it's all good. I won't bite. I promise.
Yes.
The number of parents who have come up and said, my kid was behind on reading until they picked up the Sonic book and that clicked. And now they've caught up or they're ahead of where they should be.
Yeah.
And that validates my existence on this rock. I've done something good with my time here.
Yeah.
That's vindicating.
That's cool.
There's probably 100 more, but we have other questions to answer.
Yes. We do. We have many.
Sorry, you got me all nostalgic.
All right, well, here's another question, and this time it comes from Emerl Forgotten. Will you be involved in any way with the upcoming Sonic Q&A from the Japanese social media account?
No.
Nope. Okay. Here's a question from L. Law. I've had a lot of questions regarding Jun-kun being the Oxcon. When did Robotnik modify him? Is he aware of these changes done to his body? Was Regina aware of them? Can she control him?
This was all cutting room floor stuff. Like, I don't even think this is Lost Hedgehog Tales because it never got approved to move forward, and we weren't going to revisit it anytime soon. I had an idea that there were other cons, and they were going to be based on the Chinese zodiac, and Jun-kun was going to be the ox one, and I had a few other concepts here and there. And yes, Regina would have known, and that's how she got him to do her bidding for the most part. And if he ever got cranky, she just technomancied him. But he's kind of dense, so he never realized that he was being manipulated. As to when it would happen, I think it would have been a slightly messy retcon, or it would have had to have been, this unspecified period of time. Don't think too hard about it. Just accept that there's cyborgs now.
Yeah.
But I don't remember without having to go back and research the backstory stuff.
And here's a question from My Small Corner. What would Tails and Shadow's dynamic be? And with Tails' blue eyes, yellowish fur, gentle nature, and love for life and learning, do you think he may even remind Shadow a bit of Maria? Sure.
Maybe. I think Tails has become too influenced by Sonic to remind Shadow in terms of personality.
Yeah. Maybe in the movie verse. Maybe.
But I imagine that once Shadow got over himself for whatever the circumstances are and realized he had to work with Tails, they would actually get along. They would actually function.
Yeah.
Decently. Because he's not going to listen to Tails any more than Sonic does half the time. But Tails is going to be rational and thoughtful in what he says, and Shadow will at least appreciate that more, I think. Like, if there is a solid direction or a bit of intel, he will focus on that and utilize it. So the trick is to get him to stop and listen. But once he did that, I think they would actually be able to perform pretty well together.
Yeah. And I got one last question here before we switch over to Super Chats, and this one comes from Michael H. So mandates aside, what color would Surge's super form be? Normal yellow, violet, or to keep the glitch theme going, blue, like the blue supersonic glitch in Sonic Mania?
I don't know. This is the same kind of issue we ran into when we were developing Super Scourge. Because it was a question of, should he be the color inversion, which was kind of the theme, or should he just be gold or whatever? So Tracy and I went through a bunch of different color tests, and Paul saw the, dark purple, the, what did we call it? Like the purple onyx or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, this absolutely is it. Rule of cool. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much we got to do that.
Yeah.
Because it looked sick. What can I say?
Yep.
So maybe that, I don't know, but I feel like we've been there. We've done that. We've seen that look.
Yeah.
If Surge was going to go super, I think she needs to look something a little different. And since we most likely could not go super, then I think it would be even cooler to give her a different but comparable transformation.
Right.
Maybe something lightning themed. I don't know. Maybe she steals the soul emeralds, bring back the chaos rings just for giggles. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe she shakes the 1001 Nights really, really hard until the world rings fall out. We get Dark Spine Surge. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could take it.
Yep. All right, we're going to jump back over into the super chats, and we have one here from Scurvy Pirate Hog. Thank you. Starline and Agent Stone compete for Eggman's affection. How does it go, and how does Eggman react? And apparently, Scurvy also gave us 2 super chats, so thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So it starts off small. Like, Starline has organized the tools, and Stone has made his latte, and it keeps escalating where Starline has managed to take over this small village while Stone stole all the vital information from this entire country. And Eggman pretty quickly figures out what they're doing, so he just kind of gives them small kind of grunts of encouragement without really acknowledging them, and they end up taking over the world for him. And then he just takes it from them.
Well, there you go. Convenient. Wow. Look at that. Made it real easy on himself. And took advantage of them and also. Because that's what he wants to do, because he loves taking advantage of everybody. Here's one from OzJam H. In terms of writing, how do you go about anti-heroes/villains, both for younger and older audiences? And how can it work and not work, in your opinion? Also, thank you for your super chat.
Oh my goodness. These hard ones on the fly. Villains are arguably easier since you don't have to necessarily make them understandable. You don't have to give them an out. You don't have to find a redemption for them. Villains exist to be defeated. That isn't to say that the idea of a redeemable villain or a relatable villain are flawed. Not at all. And that's kind of nice. But I feel like we've seen a lot of that lately, and we're kind of losing what could be as just definitive evil and just what is straight up fun. Let the hero beat the bad guy. So in children's media or all ages media like Sonic, you have to be careful though not to make them too evil, because there comes a point where they just become so irredeemable, where their actions are so horrible that there isn't really a reason to keep them around, or they start breaking the tone.
Okay.
In that case, it's like I'm kind of, or they become so fearsome that when they keep coming up and they keep getting defeated, they feel defanged. Like the first thing that's coming to mind for me is the Thundercats reboot from the 2010s, where like they had Monkey and Jackalman show up, and their build is these murderous, horrible monster men to be feared and hated, and they come on real strong in their first appearance, and then after that they're like Bulk and Skull, they're Jesse and James, they're goofballs. They exist to be thwarted, and it's like you can't recover from that. Right. You need to find your tone and you need to stick with it. Your anti-heroes are a trickier balancing act because they have to find that sweet spot where you're rooting for them even if they aren't necessarily doing the right thing. Or if they're doing the right thing, they're not doing the moral thing. Or if they're doing the moral thing, it's not the right thing. You've got to find the right way to put them at odds with the hero without the hero looking like a complete patsy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't tear down the hero to build up your anti-hero. And finding them similar goals, but with their methodologies being completely at odds, it's a tricky balancing act, and it really depends on the characters and the themes and the series. And I am casting a wide net on this one.
I'm also receiving word that they meant anti-villains, not anti-hero, or not just villains. Sorry, they meant anti-heroes and anti-villains.
Anti-villains.
Yeah.
All right, anti-villains
are weird. It's a hard one.
Yeah, that's an even weirder because you don't see that a lot, and I think it's because it's even harder to rationalize.
Yeah,
because at least with an anti-hero, you've got the good person who does the bad things for the good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So an anti-villain would be a bad person who does good things for bad reasons.
I'm just thinking Megamind. That's the only one I can think of. But he just became.
Okay, yeah.
But he ultimately becomes a hero anyway, technically.
Yeah, and
so that's the hard thing.
Worry with and with the anti-hero, you have that same issue where they teeter too far one way or the other, and they become too soft and become a hero, or they go too far and become a villain.
Yeah.
So I do not have I don't even have broad suggestions on anti-villains, because that's a tricky one that I haven't really tackled myself.
An example brought up is Thanos, which maybe, I don't know.
No.
But
Thanos is a villain.
Yeah.
He is emotive. He is he is not empathetic, but you are given such insight into him that you can empathize with him.
Right.
But he is a monster. He is an unrepentant, genocidal monster. There is nothing redeemable or excusable about Thanos. Yeah. He's a fantastic villain. His portrayal in the films was just so good. Josh Brolin freaking nailed it, and the CG team did true art, rendering all the levels of emotion. But he is a villain. It doesn't matter if you think his 50-50 plan makes sense, which it doesn't. He's evil.
Yeah.
He's not your mustache twirling, hand wringing, villain, but he's evil.
Yeah, no,
just because he sounds pretty doesn't excuse anything.
Well, his portrayal in the movies is a bit different from his normal portrayal. Usually he's more portrayed as the mustache twirling evil villain type. More than he was in the movies, which was an interesting thing that I kind of came across when watching the especially the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon. It was like a little bit of a different take on him than I was familiar with from the movie. So
I mean,
anyway,
yes, he's heartbroken that Gamora is dead, but he doesn't hesitate to throw her off the cliff.
Yeah.
He would yeet her again if he got the chance.
Yep.
He's evil.
It's true. And
he's great.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, we have well over 100 questions already, Ian, so we better get cranking through them on these. We better get going. Here's one from Jetsy Rose, a super chat. Thank you. Have either of you had any funny or interesting dreams about Sonic or Mega Man characters?
No, not really.
I don't really
dream about work.
I don't really have dreams that I can really remember, if I have any at all. I'm strange like that, but yeah, I don't think so.
Most of my dreams are about the fact that I didn't finish my foreign language credit and I have to put my entire life and career on hold to go back to college.
Okay, that's weird.
It's always the foreign language credit. Always.
Sounds more like a nightmare than anything else. Here's a question, the super chat question from Excel Hedge. Thank you. Okay, because it's got to be asked. Thoughts on Ugly Sonic finally getting his big movie break, and how bad do you want to write a story for him?
We just covered this on a BumbleKast.
Yeah.
I'm honestly tired of the joke. I mean, if you're still getting a hearty chuckle out of it, I'm glad. But I'm done with Ugly Sonic myself. I have no interest in revisiting the concept. It has been almost beaten into the ground as much as it's Morbin time. At this point, we just need Ugly Sonic to say it's Morbin time, and we will have reached the singularity.
I mean, the Morbin time stuff is still kind of funny to me, but I'm also weird like that. Just because it's so hilarious that it's like this movie, this is the movie that people decided to rally around and elevate to meme status. I mean, nobody actually saw it. Nobody watched it. Nobody actually cares. Nobody thinks it's a good movie. But it's just the one that got meme status just because, I don't know. It's funny. Morbin time. I think that really resonated with people. But I think the person who coined the term "it's Morbin time" now regrets it. So that's a shame.
No, you created something beautiful. Embrace it.
Beautifully chaotic. Here's another Super Chat question from Meta Mode. Thank you. Considering how IDW continues with the story after Forces and every other game has happened, what will happen when Frontiers releases? I'm not sure we can go into this.
I can dance around it.
Okay. Have fun with that.
We'll just have to see how well Frontiers is received and what it brings to the table, where that would conceivably fit in with the IDW storyline as it is, and say, okay, it happened around here, and just keep rolling.
Yep. Here's a Super Chat question from J Chance. Thank you. Are Sonic and Shadow gearheads? For the fastest hedgehogs on the planet, they sure do like driving vehicles and performing maintenance on them.
I don't know about gearheads. I think Sonic appreciates a well put together machine, but he's going to farm out most of the work to Tails.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more Tails' thing.
Like, and Shadow, I think, appreciates a functioning bit of equipment, but I don't think he kind of geeks out over it.
He really likes that bike, though.
Well, sadly, no longer canon.
Well, you know what? It's canon in my heart, dang it.
But I imagine he can maintain it, but it's not something that he like enjoys. But then again, what does Shadow enjoy, really?
Brooding, being exhausting, annoying.
Eating raw coffee beans.
That's it right there. Yep. That's his thing. All right. Let's go and jump over into some of these standard questions for a little bit. Starting off the one from Blue Dragon. In the Sonic 3 and Knuckles Japanese manual, the Master Emerald is stated to be a Super Emerald. Are they still not canon?
I'd have to see that again, but yeah, I wouldn't bank on that factoid staying relevant.
No. And we got one here from Jetsy Rose. Being a writer, I know you have tons of characters and personalities in your head. Have either of you ever had any funny or interesting dreams involving Sonic or Mega Man characters? Oh, you already asked this. This made into a... You made this one a super chat. Okay. All right, guys. Here's one from Michael B. This is a not serious question, apparently. Do the Yakuza and Sonic franchise exist in the same universe? I want to see Mr. Tanaka rip off his shirt and show off that sweet back tattoo.
For that alone, I agree. This must happen.
Yeah. Sure, why
There's
not?
your sequel title. Yakuza, Enter the Hedgehog.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, at this point, they might as well be in the same universe. Whatever.
I just want to see the gun commander get suplexed into a park bench.
Which gun commander?
Shadow beat somebody with a bicycle.
Yeah. Shadow would like fit right in. I don't know. He's Yakuza. He could be Shadow could be Yakuza. He knows what's up. Here's one from Pan Dolce. What would Dr. Starline's opinion on roboticization and cyberization? What would be Dr. Starline's opinion on those?
Well, they're creations of Eggman, and therefore they're genius.
Brilliant.
Until you point out that Chuck came up with roboticization, and then you go, but Charles only saw it as a means of medical application. The good doctor, now he had the vision to expand its scope and to subjugate all the lesser beings in the world.
Dr. Eggman perfected roboticization.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't compliment the mill worker for the cake that was baked. That's just silly.
I guess. All right, here's a question from XSpineXX. What would the group dynamic between Tails, Cream, and Charmy be? And meanwhile, what would the group dynamic between their families / guardians, Sonic, Vanilla, Vector, and SBO be?
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
What's our first trifecta there?
Tails, Cream, and Charmy.
Okay. Tails is team leader.
Yeah.
By default. He's got the experience. He's got the chutzpah to pull them together. Cream is going to follow along because she's polite and she likes the direction, and Charmy needs to be directed. It might be a little difficult, but he can get in line.
Meanwhile,
Cream would nag him enough to.
Meanwhile, Tails and Cream are trying to corral him into behaving.
Yeah. But overall, they'd function. I mean, Charmy is a contributing member to the Chaotix, and Cream and Tails are perfectly capable individuals. So together, they'd be fine. They'd handle whatever it is that they're up against.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Parental figures.
Yep.
What we have here, we had
Sonic, Vanilla, Vector, SBO, Sonic.
They'd be fine. I mean, Vanilla's not really the adventuring type, but she would entrust them to look after the other group if she had any concerns.
Yeah.
And Sonic would be content to let them do their thing because he trusts them, and if things got too hairy, he'd come in and save the day. Vector and SBO might be a little helicopter parenting. Vector primarily because he wants to make sure that Vanilla shows what good father material he could be. Just saying. Right here. Got a little free time. Good with tracking down children. Wait, is that a pro or a con? Not that I'm saying I'm a con. I'm definitely a pro. Not that I'm pro-con. I'm just going to go look after the kids now, okay?
I think that's for the best, Vector. I think that's for the best. All right, here's one from Just Bored. How would you characterize the dynamic for the Chaotix, i.e. friends, coworkers, siblings, reptile dads, and baby, etc.? I think that last one might be the one.
2 men and a baby.
Uh-huh.
They're friends. They're friends. They're coworkers. I know Charmy's too young for this to really work, but they're like the college roommates who always got along, and they're all kind of just sticking together, whether they really mean to or not. They are their own comfort zone, so they just stay there and do things, because what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
Who else is going to tolerate them?
Yep. And here's one from Orange Blues. Was Rutan Finitivis's son?
I don't know. I don't know who Rutan's father was supposed to be.
I don't know who Rutan is off the top of my head.
Liam Dawes' son.
To look it up.
Future timeline.
Oh. Okay, so another one of those. So many. I can't keep all these Echidnas straight, Ian. Okay, I'm so confused. I'm lost.
Well, they're non-canon, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's good for me. I don't have to think about it. All right, we're going to jump back over into the Super Chat questions. We got a Super Chat from Chaos Sonic 1 asking about, or mentioned, apparently clarifying the context of their previous question that we started with. appreciate that, but we're not going to address it any further. We know what the deal is, and we just don't want to. But we don't want to go into it anymore. We don't need to dedicate the that time to that person. Here's a super chat from Watcher. Since 06 Solaris's consciousness exists beyond space-time and his consciousness creates his forms, is 06 Solaris the same character as Archie Solaris?
Sure, if you want.
Sure. Thank you for your super chat. Here's one from Testing. Another one. Thank you. What would be your way of fixing Elise?
Well, design-wise, overhaul for everybody human in that game.
I've seen some really nice-looking fan art, especially recently, of the human Sonic characters being made to look a bit more, Sonic-y. So.
And her character is fine. It's just, it's not explored. It's not utilized. For a story that revolves around her and her plight, she has very, very little agency in any of it. She is cursed. She is the one who has to not cry. She is the one being kidnapped. She's the one being rescued. And her arc is very, very lightly touched upon. If you spent a little more time investigating the hardship that comes with keeping your emotions under wraps, like she had to, that would be more compelling. If she was a little more emotionally distant, because, she seems perfectly fine. It's just, the no crying thing. But to have the highs, you also have to have the lows. So does she bottle herself up entirely so she doesn't have that whiplash that she's always in control? And Sonic's lesson of just live life, just laugh, take life as it comes to you, and don't stress over it, would have a little more oomph to it.
Yes. And we got a super chat from Stephen A. Thank you. Ian and Kyle, what's the best music gig you went to? I got a cop-out answer.
Okay.
MagFest.
Why is that a cop-out answer?
Because it's multiple music gigs all in one place. Yes. But as far as like the best one I saw there, I think my favorite show was seeing dang it. Now I'm completely forgetting the name they went by after being called the Black Mages. But they're basically just the Black Mages. Nobuo Uematsu's band. So, yeah. Seeing Nobuo Uematsu and his band perform together live was quite fun. Very fun. The best show that I saw at that MagFest was probably Bit Brigade, because they actually were playing. They play along with a speedrunner. So they actually they play the music while the person plays through the game. So they're playing through Mega Man, and this guy's just blasting through Mega Man while the band is also blasting through Mega Man music, and it's insanely fun to watch. It's so good. Man, there was one time where the guy died though, which was funny. It's like, oh, well, got to restart the song. But it was great. It's fantastic. They did an excellent job with it, so that was fun. What about you, Ian?
I'm gonna have a toss-up because these are the first two that come to mind. One was the Zelda live concert.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Especially when they did Clock Town. Because it goes from day 1 to day 2 to day 3 almost seamlessly. And as the very heavy cello comes in with that ominous undercurrent as the moon is coming down, it gives me chills thinking about it. It's like, this is the sense of dread and terror that I remember as a kid. Except it's high art. The other one was the Alexis on Fire farewell tour before they got back together. But it was in this small venue, and it was dark and the floor was sticky, and they just rocked out for I don't know how long. And I don't know how you can musically scream that much and still be able to communicate like a human being afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard him on the radio afterwards, and he kind of sounds like this 24/7, and I completely understand that.
Now you know why.
Good show, good band.
Yeah.
Well, then we got snowed in, remember?
Oh, yeah, and it was like snowing like crazy.
So they played longer.
Oh,
yeah. We all got snowed in, so they kept playing.
Oh, well, I guess might as well keep going.
Our set. Here's our obligation. We're actually tired of each other and ready to move on, but you guys are stuck here, so we're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
True people of integrity and musical talent.
Performers first. I like it. And here's a super chat from Nico Miko. Thank you. Hi guys, first time question person here. Imposter Syndrome 3, Ian. Did you specifically write Search goes into Family Guy death pose, or was that artist pulling a funny? Who did the funny?
That was the artist. That was the artist.
Can't blame Ian for that one. This time.
No, it was funny though.
It was.
I know there was a general direction from SEGA to lighten up the multiple scenes of murder. And so the script was kind of toned back, and that might have been direction from David and Riley to, find places to up the funny, bring some levity to the serial murder. So,
of course, that's how you want it. That's what you want to do with it.
Remember that thing we were just talking about, walking that fine line with the villain and not making it too dark? I have a hard time staying on that line.
It's tough. It's tough. Here's a super chat question from Sonic Mania 2099. Thank you. If you or Evan could create a power type female, what would she be, and what would her personality be like? Someone to rival Knuckles, Big, or Vector?
No, I don't want to speak for Evan, because she's her own person with her own ideas.
Are you sure about that? Obviously.
For me, it's more of a question of what purpose is this character going to serve outside of being a female power type? Like, are they going to be part of the heroic extended cast? Are they going to be a rival to somebody? Are they going to be a villain? That's going to inform design. That's going to inform species to a degree. It's going to inform a lot of the implementation. Sure, those are two aspects that would be neat to, start with or be elements of a character, but that's not enough just to make a character. There needs to be more to it. What purpose do they serve in the story?
We get Honey. So...
yeah,
there's one. You also have...
that's not a new character.
Well, true. Okay. Yeah, creating a character. I was also thinking like Breezy would actually kind of work as a power type. I don't know if like she would be directly powerful, or if she would require like some sort of outside assistance of it, but I don't know. I could see it working though. And we had a super chat from Pedanticat. Thank you. Team dynamic of Rough Tumble and Boom Knuckles.
Halfway through, Boom Knuckles is like, wait, they're not our friends? We're doing bad things? But they told me all those sacks of money were taking up too much room in the bank vault. We're giving them to a nice new home.
That is exactly it. That's exactly what would happen.
And then he gets clued into the fact that he just robbed a bank, so he beats the ever-loving snot out of both of them.
And then returns all the money. And then everybody's like, where'd the money come from? This is Sonic's world. You can't have money here. Here's a super chat question from Dual Masters Hideout. If Scourge's multiverse plan went into fruition, would there be a moment where King Sonic from Mobius Light met Sonic Prime to team up against Scourge?
No, that was not in the plans.
All right. With that, let's go ahead and switch back to some of the standard questions for a little bit. Starting off with this one here from Coffee. Say Sega was more lenient and allowed you to give up game sorry about that. Let me restart. Say Sega was more lenient and allowed you to give game characters more permanent development and change their status quo. Which characters do you think you would change the most?
Well, that's the tricky thing, because they need to be recognizable as a brand, because they are products. And we love them personally, but they are products first and foremost, and they need to be recognizable. So wherever you take them, it has to still be recognizable to the general populace. Otherwise, you've changed your brand too much and you've lost a product. Which is, if I had told myself that 15 years ago, I would spit in my own face. You are a sellout to the man. It's like, well, sorry, kid, this is reality. I think maybe Tails. Have him grow up and find his own calling, to carve out a new niche within the dynamic, perhaps, because his central thing is he's the two-tailed fox that flies.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as that is still front and center, perhaps he can change character-wise a bit more and still be recognizable. Sonic I kind of like as he is. This kind of perpetual foundation of very simple optimism and freedom that other characters are kind of built off of from there. I don't know. That's a lot bigger of a question than I think some people give it credit for. And I don't want to just say something off the cuff like, oh yes, I would totally do this. Because once you do it, you can't walk it back. Or you can, but then it becomes, some kind of time travel shenanigans, and nobody likes that.
Regressive. Knuckles, I would say, personally. At least just to get him off the freaking island.
Yeah, I mean, but like in terms of characterization.
Right, yeah.
Like, moving him off the island is a big step, but he's still the red guy who is Sonic's rival. He's the tough one next to Sonic's speed. Those are the key selling points. So the character could grow in some directions without going too far afield of that. But yeah, getting him off the island is more of a set piece rather than it is a character thing.
Okay. Cool. Here we go. Here's a question from Scruffy Matt. Happy Obi-Wee Kendobi, everyone. If an evil dictator came to power and you had to hide in the desert to save yourselves, how would you keep yourselves busy for 18 years until a new hope arose?
If I had to hide in the desert, I'd just walk up to the lightsaber. Say, do it, get it over with. I am not spending 18 minutes in that dry, nasty, over 20-degree heat. Nope. Vader, you can just smite me now. The Jedi had a good run. Right to the temple. I will come back stronger than you could ever imagine and hopefully be permanently air-conditioned as the Jedi Ghost.
As someone who lives in the desert, I agree. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, we're going to cut off questions here pretty soon, the standard questions. Super chats will still be accepted for a little bit, but standard questions we're going to be cutting off in about 5 minutes. So if you have any to get in, then go ahead and do that. So this is your last call for standard questions, guys. We have a lot. So let's keep rolling with this one from Hader S. Is there an official word on Knuckles' knuckles? Are they actually part of his hands or just his gloves?
I don't know if there's official word on that.
I got an answer. Yes.
But you know, that's probably something I should ask at some point, just to get it like set in stone.
Probably.
What are they?
What are they? Do they even wear gloves? Are their gloves just their hands? Is that just how their hands look? I don't know.
Well, he's just got like big puffy white wrists.
Maybe.
I don't like that.
Don't judge
I
them.
don't like that at all.
It's rude. Why are you so mean? Here we go with a question from Raphael C. Can Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic the Fighters, and the Game Gear games be canon only to the classic dimension and not to the modern? Is it possible? It's hard to say where those fit. I don't know. The Sonic Advance games also feel like they're weirdly outside of stuff.
There is an answer to this, but I don't know if I can give it yet.
Okay.
Let's just say a very confusing and ambiguous yes.
Okay. And here's one from Alec J. In issue 36, it's shown that Moby and Hedgehogs can wag their tails, as shown with Amy. So how would Sonic, Silver, or Shadow react if someone caught them with their tails wagging?
Sonic wouldn't care. He's chill about it. Silver would be extremely self-conscious and kind of blubber over himself. Like, Silver would kill you. Shadow. Screwed up the joke.
Silver would kill you. It's funnier that way.
Well, maybe they both would. You know, Shadow's just more direct about it.
Yeah.
You saw your tail wagging? No, you didn't.
You saw
Silver
nothing.
Saw your tail wagging? No, you didn't. Smashes you with a car.
Just on accident.
Yeah,
just as a reaction.
Reflex.
A reflex reaction, yeah. It's no you, crap! Here's one from S Shining. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles only, and Tails can't turn super with the Chaos Emeralds, but can with the Super Emeralds. So my theory is that Hyper equals Super X Super. Super times Super,
maybe.
double Super, Super Super. Super duper. Here's a question from Rez. What would be Blaze's reaction if she met a fire user? Not a monster, human, or Mobian. So who would they be then? just like a living flame? Is that what maybe you're talking about?
Or are you talking like Firebender out of Avatar?
But that would be a human.
Human, yeah.
Generally, yes.
Read it again.
What would be Blaze's reaction if she met a fire user? Not a monster, human, or Mobian.
Fire user.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't parse that one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one. Like, if it was a fire, like, if it was, like, maybe a living flame, maybe? It's the only thing I can think of.
That's not fire user.
That's just fire. Yeah. I'm interesting. It's interesting. That's an interesting one. I don't know about that. I don't know. Might need some clarification on that one at some point. And we got a question here from Delazox, sorry. Sad question, but also an interesting character study. How would Sonic react and deal with a hypothetical loss of Tails in contrast to how Shadow dealt with the loss and grief of Maria?
Well, if Lost World is any indication, not well. Like, Tails was just captured and Sonic started moping. So, an actual, like, the meme is not a meme anymore. Tails dies. I think that would actually kind of throw Sonic for a loop for a bit. He would eventually put himself back together and move on because that's what he does. He always keeps moving. But there might be one less joke than usual. Maybe he'd be a little more serious when the chips came down. He would endure, but maybe there'd be not quite as much pep in his step afterwards.
Yeah, I can see that. And we got a standard question here from Vlad C. Since Sonic and Shadow are equals, does that mean that Sonic can potentially learn / use Shadow's exclusive techniques like Chaos Blast and Chaos Spear with an Emerald, of course?
Maybe. I'm not quite sure.
All right, let's jump over into some super chats for a bit. Starting off with another one from Scurvy Pirate Hog. This is just a coincidence. It keeps happening to be the one to jump back to. Or, well, only one other time than before, but... Since Shadow only wants to fight strong opponents, what if Maria came back to life as a strong opponent? Well...
They'd square off in the ring, circling each other, sizing each other up. This is what you wanted, isn't it, Maria? A chance to get slappy? And then she just proceeds to manhandle him because he cannot bring himself to raise a finger against her.
No, of course not. Another super chat from Nickel Plated. Thank you. In your opinion, is the no magic mandate made more for maintaining the mindset on a mighty mammal making mincemeat of mechanized monstrosities made for a madman's maniacal master plan? Congratulations, you have gotten applause.
Bravo. Bravo. There may be that. It might be more that they just want to stick to a general science fiction feel to the series. I feel like that's beyond the pale at this point, but that's just one person's opinion.
Some amazing alliteration going on there. Here's a super chat from Joey the Sonic fan. Thank you. What's every IDW Sonic villain's favorite food? Hello? Are you thinking, Ian? No, you're muted. Uh-oh. What happened?
Sorry, I had to adjust things, and I didn't want to make all the noise while you were asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it was a short question. I think you weren't...
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just in here like...
Well, I tried to make a quick adjustment, and of course, things started falling apart.
Oh, okay. Cool. Anyway, go ahead.
Favorite food. We've seen Eggman with his giant hoagies, so we're going to assume he likes a good sandwich.
I also enjoy a good sandwich.
Starline also appreciates a good sandwich because that's what the doctor eats, and therefore it's clearly what he should enjoy immensely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rough and Tumble like the absolute greasiest, cheapest, nastiest takeout pizza. Like, it's cardboard with ketchup. It's vile. No one should like it. They're the only people who eat it, and they swear that it's a delicacy.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Surge really enjoyed chili dogs until she found out that was Sonic's thing, and now she hates them.
Uh-huh. But she also still really likes them, just secretly.
Yeah. So what's like the antithesis of a chili dog? Bacon cheeseburger?
I don't know. It seems those are complimentary. I don't know.
Because I don't think she would even go so far as to like eat a salad.
Switch over to health food.
Yeah.
Maybe she just
maybe she embraces the chili dog because it's going to be her chili dog from now on. That's her thing.
I was just gonna say maybe she just eats the hot dog with no bun or anything.
Just grabs a fistful of chili, grabs the hot dog in the same hand.
No chili, just the dog. And she doesn't even cook it. She just rips it right out of the package. Starts gnawing on it like a freaking dog. There you go.
And Mimic enjoys shaved ice.
There you go. Sure. Why not? Not much of a food, but... And I should know, I eat a lot of ice. I'm one of those perpetual ice chewers.
Mm-hmm. Right there with you.
Here's one from a super chat from Testing. Thank you. Do or did dinosaurs exist in Sonic's world? Gone through this like multiple times, but no, they don't currently.
Not currently that we know of. But they did appear in Secret Rings, but that's the storybook.
That's a different, yeah.
And there was the Ghost Rex, but that was on Blaze's world.
Yeah.
But there are dinosaur-themed badniks on Sonic's Earth, therefore they have to be based off of something. So they did at some point. So yes, there we go.
Right. Yeah.
We stumbled our way through the logic.
Here's a super chat from Triforce Riku. Sorry. Shadow teaches Cream and Cheese how to use chaos powers. How do you think this would go? How do you think Vanilla would take it?
Okay, so when Cream says Cheese, get him, you get hit with a chow.
Mm-hmm.
You now teach her Chaos Spear. She's throwing you a Chaos Spear infused chow. This thing will hunt you down. You can't dodge it. It has a mind of its own. It's like having an orbital strike coming from a 6-year-old.
Brilliant.
And Vanilla is concerned, as any parent would be, but it does keep her safe. And as long as she doesn't do it inside the house and no one gets hurt, she can go have fun.
Only if the bad guys get hurt. Only do it to the bad guys, honey. And
face gets knocked over and she calls in Cream and Shadow to scold at them.
Of course. And Shadow feels very bad.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Rabbit.
Sorry, Mrs. the Rabbit. We got super chats from Yozoi. They did not send in any questions. They sent in a nice comment here, though. It says, no question, but I just want to thank Kyle and Ian for really getting me invested in the comics. I have nearly every issue of the IDW run. Thank you. I don't know what I personally did to get you invested in the comics, but you're welcome.
You do a lot for the show. This show does a lot to talk about the comics, so vicariously,
I suppose
you've done a lot for the comics.
Okay, I'll go with that. I suppose. Thank you for your super chats, Yozoi. It's much appreciated. And we got another super chat here from OzJam H. Following up, you stated in the past that when it comes to villains to heroes, you noted that it hurts certain characters like Piccolo and Knuckles. But what are some that have benefited from this?
Ooh. I would say, and now I haven't seen the latest Owl House, so don't nobody say nothing in the chat, but Hunter, I think. I would dare say he started off as a villain, kind of more of a lighthearted, fun villain, but still a villainous force. Viral out of Gurren Lagann. Viral, however they pronounce it. Straight up villain, and arguably had the most compelling arc in the entire series. I mean, yeah, Simone had an arc, and whatever, keep digging for the heaven. Yeah, Viral, however you want to say it. I really dug his bit, especially there at the very end when everyone's being pulled out of their kind of dream worlds, and he has everything that he could have ever wanted and realizes that it's not real or that there's something greater that needs him, and he gives it up. And I'm like, this show is so stupid. Why do you make me cry, you stupid show? You stupid, silly, vapid show. I love you so much. I hate you. Row, fight the power.
Yeah. All right. Also, we closed the standard questions about 10 minutes ago-ish. So we are still accepting super chats, though. So if you have any super chats you want to throw at us, feel free. Here's one from J Chance, a super chat. Thank you. Dr. Starline and Agent Stone try to make Eggman's favorite sandwich. How does it go? Like, together?
Oh, no.
If they did, or would this be like Iron Chef?
Absolutely, it would be. Eggman just put out the order. I want a sandwich. He didn't say who should make it, and so they're falling over each other trying to make this thing. Like they're Starline has repurposed the deli cutter into a blade launcher. Stone is like smeared horseradish under his eyes as camo paint and is sneaking up with him with a carving knife in his teeth. And it's just, the kitchen is nigh upon destroyed at the end, but neither of them realize that Orbot went ahead and just made it. He delivered it like an hour ago.
Orbot already knew. He knew how it'd go. Right. Let's switch back over to some standard questions for a bit. Starting off with the one from Happy Times. Metal Overlord was able to use Chaos Control, presumably because he had Sonic and Shadow's data. Could Surge therefore use Chaos Control since she has Sonic and Shadow's biodata?
No, the rule that has been stated to me is Chaos Control absolutely must require a Chaos Emerald on hand. So, how'd you do that there, Metal Overlord?
So all those other times where it's happened without an emerald. These aren't plot holes anymore, Ian. These are like plot chasms.
That's what happens when you play with space-time too much.
These are plot abysses. It's just bottomless pits of plot holes everywhere. All right. Here's a question from Yo. What if Emerl makes a link with Goku or Vegeta? Like a hyperlink? Like a HTML? I don't know. Go ahead.
Emerl would make a link with whatever character he felt was the powerful influence at the time.
Okay.
And would take on traits from them.
Right. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, it's been forever since I've seen or done or played anything related to Sonic Battle. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
And I'm not 100% confident in that explanation. There's probably a detail that I need to brush up on. But the point is, if he did that and then still went haywire evil at the end, Sonic ain't stopping him. He's going to get Super Saiyan punted through the floor. Although, the whole reason my Emerald went berserk was because Eggman showed off the power of whatever Doom cannon he had on his space station, which was powerful enough to override Emerald's coding. If he linked with Goku or Vegeta, he's already going to be at a power level where that cannon's not going to matter much at all. So he would stay true to himself. And if he linked with both of them, then we're effectively either getting Vegeta or Gogeta in his personality. And I'm not sure which one's better and which one's worse.
All right, here's a question from Levi C. Hey, Ian and Kyle, did you ever read the Sonic and Rouge Eggman Land story on Sonic Channel? And if so, do you have any opinions on how the story used the Gaia temples? I didn't.
I did, but it was so long ago, I forgot what it was.
Sorry.
One bit of Sonic lore I'm going to have to go back and do my research on.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Happens sometimes. There's a lot to remember. They don't make it easy. Here's one from Boney Cheese. Scourge and Fiona are paired up with Kit, Surge, and Starline. And are paired up... Okay, Scourge and Fiona are paired up with Kit. Surge and Starline are paired up with Anti-Tails. What are their dynamics like? Here we go.
That is bad news for Kit.
Yeah. Separated from Surge.
Once Scourge realizes that Kit kind of latches onto any authority figure wholesale, he is going to abuse that relationship in all the worst ways. And Fiona would eventually intercede because she wouldn't like seeing a kid put through that kind of turmoil, because she was a kid put through turmoil.
Yeah.
But she would also see, a 100% loyal lackey and would not let that opportunity go to waste. So she'd more or less just steal the toy away from Scourge. Surge and Starline and Miles. Yeah. Surge would miss the forest for the trees, and that Miles is plotting something. Starline would pick up on it, and it would just be this kind of perpetual cloak and dagger, each one of them waiting for the other to stab each other in the back, while also moving their own plans forward. And it would just become a matter of time of who convinced Surge to move against the other first.
Yeah. Alrighty. Here's a question from Supersonic 93. If Tangle, Whisper, Jewel, and Belle were brought into the games, would their stories be like IDW comics, or would they be changed for the games, and what would their style of gameplay be like?
At this juncture, I would imagine they would just be transplanted wholesale. Don't think we'd get a huge backstory dump, but they would just be them. As far as that would be my guess at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Tangle, I imagine, is playing very much like a combo of Sonic and the Avatar character, or rather the Avatar character without a wisp on, so that you have the running and the jumping and the homing attack, but you also have the grapple ability. That was what her thinking was when we made her, is that she would have that grapple and Jewel would be a kind of mobile anchor point for her to swing from. In the same way that Tails is someone that allows Sonic to get over the jumps that he cannot normally get to. It's a helper character that facilitates the primary gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Whisper would basically be the Avatar character just without the grapple and a rotating wisp on. You know, you've got a dedicated set of 5 shots or abilities, and I don't know how you would manage ammo in that regard, but maybe it's you pick up rings, maybe it's so much per round. I don't know. Jewel was in that list, right? It was
yes.
Tangle. Okay, so we already covered that. Belle, I don't know, because she's a non-combatant, and that doesn't exactly fit in an action platformer in terms of gameplay.
She could just ride Moto Butt around and smack people.
Maybe she could take a page out of like Sonic Adventure Amy and be more of a platform puzzler. That she is avoiding confrontation and opening doors and fixing things so that the elevator moves or stuff like that.
That would be
non-confrontational, but still engaging in the terrain.
That would be fun to have like a puzzle platformer, with her going around and doing stuff, but no enemies or anything, just helping out. That'd be fun.
I mean, she still got the kick,
mm-hmm.
but it's kind of awkward, and you got to get the timing just right. So it's not really a reliable offensive move. It's just something that you can fall back on if you get cornered.
Right. I like it. Here's a question from Clara V. Should Sonic, Shadow, and Silver team up more often?
It'd be neat. I mean, I feel like they were trying to build up that triumphant, and then 06 failed to meet expectations, and Silver kind of got that albatrosses around his neck.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you, Storm. I'm being metaphorical. But it would be kind of neat to see the 3 of them interact. I think the 3 of them would have a fun dynamic.
Yeah. That would be fun. But alas. Here's a question from Yes. Sonic and Shadow learn fusion dance. Will Shadow be willing to fuse with Sonic? And if yes, how strong and fast will they be? All the strongs and all the fasts.
This is absolutely a DBZ Broly movie moment where Shadow does not want to do the dance, but they have to for whatever reason.
Right.
And begrudgingly accept it. And there you go. Sonato becomes canon as they fuse.
I don't think that's what that term.
I know what I said. And it's being recorded. It's going to be broadcast later. I know what I said. I see you. You see me seeing you.
Ian is watching you. Ian is watching you. I wouldn't do anything weird if I were you.
And as Kyle said, they would have all the strong and all the fast.
Yes, of course. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. And we got a standard question here from Marshall H, which one, after this one, we'll switch over to some super chats for a bit. Considering generations implied that Blaze was connected to Chrysicity's appearance and we see her go burning after absorbing Iblis, do you think a part of Iblis still resides within Blaze?
I mean, it should.
Depending on if that was...
It's in her. She didn't let it go, as far as we know.
Yeah. I don't know. Is Generations canon?
Yeah. I mean, Crisis City shouldn't have shown back up because that entire timeline was erased. But from my understanding now is that that timeline still persists to a degree. And I don't know, Kyle.
I don't know either,
Time
man.
Eater really messed with space-time. Maybe he, I don't know, was able to fuse it with an alternate timeline that, you know what? No.
No.
I've done this enough. I'm not going back. You can't make me go down that road again.
Too much wibbly wobbly timey wiminess for me. I refuse. Anyway, here's some super chats. This one is from Sonic Mania 2099. Thank you. How badly will Surge and Kit get beaten by Sonic and Tails? Yep, I have no faith in them, their plan, or them being permanent villains.
You'll just have to read Sonic number 50 to find out how that fight plays out.
If there's even any fight at all. You never know.
Oh, there is.
Well, that's a spoiler alert, Ian.
And I sold the issue on that idea.
Okay.
We've been building up to these fights forever.
I know. It's been in. I know it's
a pay-per-view title battle bout thingy.
I know it's even in the solicitations, but still. All right. Here's one from a perfectly normal cat person. All right, if you insist.
As a perfectly normal cat person, I can assure you we don't exist.
Mm-hmm. If Whisper existed in the Archie canon, would she have connections to the wolf pack?
Huh. We kind of touched on this on a recent BumbleKast where I don't think Whisper would have been at all in the Archie book.
Yeah, but she did. There's some weird crisscross wibbly wobbly timey wimey shenanigans.
Maybe, I don't know, because we put a lot of effort into giving the Wolfpack a cultural identity as cobbled together as it was, and Whisper doesn't fit into that. So I don't know. I don't think it would really bring anything to her character to make her Wolfpack. Or maybe the fact that she broke away and chucked that identity out the window to be her own thing. To truly be that lone wolf would be a plot point. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Interesting. We got a super chat from Floating Kites. Thank you. Do you still consider Sonic to be 15 by the end of your run on the Archie Comics book, or was he a little older in your head when you wrote him?
Ages are always awful when it comes to Sonic stuff.
They're confusing. They don't make any sense. They don't line up with how the way the characters act. Generally, they're just weird.
Eventually, I just stopped caring and just wrote the character as I felt the character should be, because the ages don't really inform the characterization for the most part.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions like Charmy, Kareem, Tails to a degree, but more like more like Sims. They don't have actual ages. They just have stages of life. And we got a question here from a super chat from Hero of Light 13. Thank you. If you find ideas like Dark Sonic uninteresting, why not just find a way to make it interesting? Sounds less like a bad idea and more like a challenge.
Well.
Are you asking for a challenge?
Are you asking for a challenge? I will punch a brick wall. You have me there. Like, gun to my head, I've got to make Dark Sonic make sense and be interesting. I would find a way.
So life
I'm not doing it
finds a
right
way.
this second because I'm not going to do that legwork for it. But if I have to, then I would, because when it comes down to it, it's not up to what I want. It's what the job is.
Right.
So it is my job to do the best job that I can, regardless of my feelings on whatever it is.
Yeah. Here's a question from Testing. Humans are okay to be in the comic, but SEGA is incredibly strict about their designs because controversy. What would that influence the way you would include them, if at all, assuming it is your call?
Sorry, I missed the first part of that. Say again.
Humans are okay to be in the comic, but SEGA is incredibly strict about their designs because controversy. What would that influence the way you include them, if at all, assuming it is your call?
It is not my call. It is one part SEGA, one part editorial on whether or not we include any humans, and how they look, how they're implemented would be largely up to SEGA. What do they want humans of Sonic to be? And we've got a wide variety of options there. So I'm not in a rush to revisit any of the human areas or characters, although I would like to at some point. But that is not up to me.
Alrighty. And we're going to go ahead and jump back over into the standard questions for a bit. Here's one from Asta K. So you think Sonic Movie 6 will be based on Sonic 06? Hope not.
If we get to 6 movies, I mean,
with the long-running franchises we have lately, I think it might happen.
Maybe. Like 3 seems to be a lock.
Yeah. The third one is happening.
Depending on how that does, maybe we'll get a 4th. Like, the Marvel movies were gigantic. And we still only got, 3 Captain Americas, 3 Iron Mans, and we are getting a fourth Thor.
Yes.
But I almost feel like the first one doesn't count because it is so tonally different than what the third and the fourth seem to be doing. It's almost like we got Thor 1 and Thor 2 do-over Thor 1 and Thor 2. So
in a way, kind of.
I don't know. I can see us going to Sonic 4, but I would be surprised if the franchise continued to have that much traction. Then again, this is Sonic we're talking about.
And also by the same producers as the Fast and the Furious, and we've seen how long that franchise has managed to go.
Yeah.
Somehow, with 10 movies in just over 20 years.
And I don't know how freely I can talk about this, but I was given a statistic of just how loyal Sonic fans are to the brand, and it's more staggering than I thought.
I think it's pretty extreme. Just from the outside looking in, it's extreme.
So maybe I'm just full of bunk, and we'll get to Sonic 6, and I will, look back on this episode and go, I was wrong.
Just as long as it's not based on Sonic 06, I think we'll be fine. Or maybe you could do Sonic 06, something based on Sonic 06-ish. But, without the problems of Sonic 06.
Part of what 06's problem is it was telling this grand sweeping narrative in an action platformer.
Yeah.
Those don't mix.
It was also, it can. It was just also woefully unfinished. That was
that too,
the other problem.
I don't feel like they mesh well tonally, personally. But a movie, that's all about that grand sweeping narrative. So maybe they could make it work.
Yeah, I think you can make it work with a larger narrative, work within the bounds of an action platformer. I think it could, but it just didn't in that case.
Movie style Silver fighting a movie style Iblis. That'd be pretty neat. I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. All right, here's one from Bro. Metal is stated totally equal to Sonic physically. Why does he always lose against him?
Because a cheap copy cannot overcome the original.
He may know everything he's going to do, but the other one also knows everything they're going to do.
Strange, isn't it?
Thank you. I didn't want to be the one to do it because I know you're sick of that right by now. You just had to go ahead and write it in with Surge. Now you've done it. Brought this on yourself. Here's a question from Darker. A fraction of negative chaos energy turns Sonic into a werehog. So does a negative super grant you a monster form?
See, I'm not really sure if it was the negative chaos emeralds, because their power was drained entirely to split the planet. The corruption, from my understanding, was supposed to be Dark Gaia. How that went up into the orbital station to convert Sonic, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Dark Gaia that did the Werehog corruption, not Chaos Emeralds.
I don't know, man. Weird. Den Devil has a question. Ian, have you ever thought about delving into the meaning of everything as canon? Since if a game can't be put on the timeline, nothing prevents it from being part of the cosmology.
Ooh, that's a way to take it. The uncanon games is part of a grander tapestry of what ifs. That would be an approach, to be sure, but I feel like that would be even more difficult to approach from an outside perspective than just saying all the games are on the timeline, with a few notable exceptions.
Alrighty. So, Ian, how are you feeling? Been at this for just over an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm good to go for the full 2 hours, but my voice is starting to give out. I can kind of feel it. I don't know if you can hear it. We have to get through all the super chats to be sure.
Yes.
But
so we're going to switch back to super chat questions and prioritize those. We'll see how many we get through, and then we'll get through all of them, and then we'll see how many of the standard questions we can get back to if we can. So let's shift back over into the super chats here from Sonic Mania 2099. What I mean is a strong female character among the heroes whenever they need some muscle, since strong females in media are getting popular now. Okay. There
we go. Okay, so an additional hero character who is a power type. I have forgotten the full extent of the original question, but I think we've got the gist of it.
The question is... The original question is... I'm trying to go back up. Oh, I don't think it's that far back up. Dang it, where'd it go? Oh, if they could create a power type female, what would she be and her personality be like? Someone to rival Knuckles, Big, or Vector.
Okay. So... You got your, so we specified it's a hero power type. What does she bring to the table that Knuckles and Vector don't? Big is already this kind of weird iconoclast on the side. He's kind of the running gag character. I don't feel like he's really a signature member of the cast. So I'm not going to count him. Vector is your intelligent detective, but he's also a bit of a cornball. So you got your comedy relief, but he can move the plot forward. And Knuckles is your trained and disciplined character who is sometimes played for a laugh, but hopefully the Sonic 2 movie trend will stick and we'll get more serious, competent Knuckles going forward and a little less boom Knuckles. Nothing against Boom Knuckles. He was great, but we've had dumb Knuckles for a while. Let's get more Idris Knuckles into the mix, please, and thank you. So, what do we have in terms of female characters and power types? Brings to the cast. Like, what kind of character interaction do we have? All right, back it up.
I'm just thinking like Honey and Amy already kind of fit this archetype. Honey especially, but Amy
Yeah, but
could.
Honey's classic.
I know, but whatever.
And we're talking like modern Sonic because that's the standard style.
Yeah, I know.
And Amy, she's got a hefty wallop and apparently boxer sizes now, which is great.
That's from Sonic Battle.
Yeah, but still. But she's not really a power type. I mean, her typing is all over the place. She's a skill type here, she's a speed type there, and that hammer itself is almost a power type by itself. So I don't feel like it's good to define her as just one type. She's versatile.
Mm.
So what do you get? What does Sonic need in terms of personalities around him? You've got the rival in Knuckles. You've got the support in Amy. You've got the protege in Tails. Tangle's already kind of just the adventure buddy, the super simple, let's go ride bikes type. Whisper is the antithesis because Sonic is the big, boisterous personality and she is super reserved. So what? Maybe I'm approaching this from the wrong angle and it shouldn't be, focused on the main character, but an ancillary. Like supporting cast to supporting cast. Because Blaze is kind of a protagonist in her own right. What if we had, because Marine is the young, aspiring inventor, not on Tails' caliber, but, she's 6, 8 years old and she built her own jet ski? That's still pretty darn talented. So we've got kind of the Tails dynamic there. So, Blaze needs a Knuckles.
There you go.
All right, so we got Blaze. Blaze has her hired muscle attendant. Maybe it's part of the goon squad that monitors the Imperial Palace. You've got Gardon with his dinky little sword. Maybe she's just this ripped koala.
Maybe she's just like this. Yeah, she's like just this imposing.
Like she's still a koala, but she's got like Storm's frame.
Mm-hmm.
And Blaze herself is very reserved and measured, and Marine is all over the place. So we're going to say this female power type is just your general good, happy, positive backup. Like the perpetual optimist. If it's raining, well, at least the crops get watered. If they're outnumbered, well, at least there's plenty for us to share as we beat them up. If Blaze is having a bad day, well, that just means the next day is going to be all the better in contrast. Like, cannot be torn down. She's completely unflappable, and she loves her job. Damn it. Robo pirate storming the shore. Hata! Gonna go beat them up for you, princess. You stay right there. Work on that documentation or whatever it is you royals do. I'm gonna go smash me some robots.
I like it.
This is not an official character. This is not an actual pitch. This is not showing up in IDW. This is just me. This is the process on the fly.
It's just brainstorming. Yep. Just to do something fun. I like it though. All right, let's keep going with these super chats. Here's the one from Meta Mode. Thank you. So, do Silver and Blaze know each other, or is it like a subconscious nagging? They seem to be paired in various games after 06.
Whether they remember their past together, I think is still a no. But I'm gonna assume that they've interacted enough since then that they know each other, and that kind of undercurrent of familiarity has just been accepted between the two of them. They don't quite get it. They don't know why, but they just sync, and they're okay with that.
Sure. And we got another super chat here from Sonic Mania 29, not 2099. Jeez, thank you for your generosity. Scourge is popular because she's the first female villain in IDW Sonic, and if she and Kit go down 17 and 18's hero path, who's the true female villain?
Wait, say again?
Scourge is popular because she's the first female villain in IDW Sonic, and if she and Kit go down 17 and 18's hero path, who's the true female villain?
Oh, you're assuming they're going to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to deny there are some parallels.
There are a lot of people who are assuming that the villains of them is not, their villainous side is not going to stick.
Well, that would be up to Evan in the long term. I am quite content to leave them villains.
Yes.
Because, as you said, if she makes a face turn and follows 18's path, then where's the female villain? That ruins the entire point of introducing Scourge. Nah. Let her be bad. Let her stay bad.
Who's bad?
That is not to undermine Evan. If she has a good arc for Scourge, then she's got a good arc for Scourge.
Yep.
Who's but bad? Here and now, in this BumbleKast, let her fight.
Who's bad? She bad. And we got another super chat from Scurvy Pirate Hog. Thank you. So, the movie gave Eggman a super form. How would you incorporate that into modern Eggman, and how would Starline react?
I don't think we could get away with it.
I don't think so either.
I think that is only in there because Paramount is a big movie studio. But for the sake of the question, we have modern Eggman getting an equivalent form, and Starline would just go gaga for it.
Yep.
I mean, it's all the genius and power that he knew he had realized. Yeah, if we're talking about Starline in his present position in his character arc, he'd be a little concerned because how is he going to screw this up? How is he going to squander this opportunity? If he had that power, he would know what to do with it, but he would still be excited for him all the same. Maybe this new form will grant a new form of insight as well. Maybe it will get him to focus and do what he should do. Why is he playing air guitar on his leg? I had such high hopes.
And here's a super chat from Recipe. How much freedom do you have to explore the SEGA cast provided the characters do not change? Can stories be built around going deep into what's there? Also, thank you for your super chat.
It really depends on what we try to investigate and how deep we go. I don't know if we can do like an entire issue devoted to each character's inner psyche and a complete deconstruction of who they are, but I don't know if that'd be a great story to begin with anyway. The primary goal is to tell fun stories with these characters. And if they learn a little something or grow a little bit along the way, neat. But they themselves cannot really fundamentally change because, as we said at the beginning of the show, they are a product. And that product has to be recognizable.
Right. Here's a super chat from Jeffrey St. John. Thanks, St. John. Appreciate it. What gave you the idea to bring Monkey Kong back into the Archie comics in issue 201? Was it a way to introduce him? Reintroduce him?
No, as the story goes, that was a joke pitch.
Yes.
Like, I had like 5 pitches sent to the editor, and there were a couple that I really wanted to do, a couple of others that I just thought might be neat, put them in there for consideration, and then I threw in a Monkey Kong one just for giggles.
For Iron Dominion,
and I liked that one. He said, "That's the one we're going to do," and I'm like, "Why?" I was joking. He says, "No. This is great. Go with this." So, okay, well, as we said earlier on the show, it's my job to do a good job, whether I want to or not. And that's how we got the Monkey Kong arc.
And to at least a decent amount of people, you seem to have spun gold out of straw in that one. So
Yeah, it's a fine arc. I feel like a lot of people are just kind of like, yeah, it happened.
a
That
lot,
wasn't bad.
it's,
You know what? That's fine.
It seems like the fans of it have been speaking up lately, though. You know.
I'm flattered that they remember it fondly, and I'm glad we were able to deliver.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty fun arc. There's some fun stuff in there. And here's the super chat from 120 Mask. Thank you. In the hard mode of Shadow the Hedgehog, the president's secretary says the president has tea time with the Secretary of Japan. Does this mean that some parts of Sonic's world just places from ours are just places from ours? Is this like tea time, like golf time, or tea time as in tea time, like drinking tea?
Why not both?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to chalk that up to that was before anyone was considering what's going on with the planet. And come to think of it, that would have been during the two world scenario. So
Yeah.
it was taking place on Earth, and that's not a thing anymore. So interesting that Japan is not part of the United Federation.
Yeah. That's weird.
Well, I wouldn't hang my hat on that particular bit of trivia.
Yes.
Now I really want to. Is there like a comprehensive list of all the hard mode factoids?
Probably somewhere. I don't know.
If so, tweet me a link. Educate me. I want to know.
Yeah. Also, you guys, please stop asking repeat questions over and over. We have your question. If you asked it, you don't have to keep on repeating. You keep repeating the question. You keep spamming your question over and over. We're gonna have to mute you. So, yeah, please don't do that. And then also, I'm gonna say that. Let's see what else is here. I don't think we're going to be getting back to the standard questions today, guys. We're going to try maybe, but I think we're going to just, because we've still got 6 super chats, 7 now to get through. So, yeah, let's hurry up and get through those. And you're coming up. We're coming up on the end here, guys. So I think we're going to have to cut off the super chats now too. So.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your support, but we got to call it quits.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. If you're just showing up, I'm very sorry. I apologize. Hold your question for next month, or fire it off at us through Ko-fi, or even just Twitter or email or any of those venues. Unfortunately, we get so many questions that it's, we have a long queue, as it were. So just try and be patient. We'll do our best. And yeah. So let's keep going. Snooty Boy 55 has a super chat. A question for my friend. Are Starline's arms colored gray like his skin or white like his fur?
Ooh, I don't know. I would assume white like the rest of his fur. Yeah, like the rest of his fur, I would think.
Does he have the boots with the fur? No. Yes, not.
Like...
Okay. Here's a question from super chat question from J Chance. It seems Sonic 3 the movie will be adapting SA2 and Shadow from the announcements. Ian, how would you adapt those stories into a coherent story?
Well, see, the fact that they reference Shadow, the game, it has me raise an eyebrow, because there is a bit of an overlap. Gerald making Shadow and Shadow being on the Ark, and Maria and her sacrifice. And
Maria.
I honestly wonder if they're going to retcon Commander Walters into the Gun Commander, who was Maria's friend, if that's the case. Maybe. I can't imagine that they're going to do the Black Arms. I really don't think they will. because you're introducing Shadow, you're introducing his backstory. The entire arc is his to be had, and you've got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, the supporting cast. They have to be explored a bit.
Is that a pun? Using the word arc? He's the arc is
Yes.
his? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna say yes.
Good. Okay. I was wondering if that was intentional or not.
There'll probably be more human shenanigans just to keep the budget down a bit. So there's no room for evil people eating aliens. Unless that is the third act threat that makes Sonic and Shadow team up to save the Earth from alien invasion.
This is giving me real Spider-Man 3 vibes.
I don't want to be right about that. I really don't. I don't want to see movie Black Comet. I don't want to see movie Black Doom descend and go, it's Morbin time. I don't want Shadow, bring me the 7 Chaos Emeralds so I can morb out.
No. 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 You've done it. You made it funny.
As for the crux of your question, how would I approach folding those two games in coherently? We touched upon this on a recent BumbleKast. I honestly don't know how I would do it, and I'm kind of content to see how they approach it. One of the things that's going to be very interesting is that, you know, we've established that Sonic and all his fuzzy buddies come from other dimensions. And to that end, I don't see them sticking with Gerald making Shadow, but perhaps modifying him. That Shadow comes from Sonic's world and that he has been enhanced. Whatever zippy zappy powers that Sonic has dialed up to 11, and that's where you get your chaos control. Maybe. But Shadow's entire thing is so convoluted that whatever they do in the movie to make it generally accessible will be very interesting.
With this one from the chat here, I want to see Sonic and Shadow totally morb each other to death. Whatever that even means. I don't know, man. It's just silly. Shadow isn't it?
Wanted, isn't it, Maria? A chance for everyone to morb.
Why are we doing this? Why is this a thing?
We've been at this for 2 hours.
We've been at this for too long. We're losing it, man.
Morbing control.
We've still got more to go through too, so let's hurry up. Mr. Krabs is here with a question. Super chat, thank you. Hi, Ian and Kyle. It's my first time asking you guys a question. Anyway, I have a question. How old are Surge and Kit? Are they the same age as Tails and Sonic, or etc.?
Yeah, Surge is comparable to Sonic's age, and Kit is comparable to Tails' age.
How old is etc.? You're welcome. Anyway, someone start up the campaign to get Jared Leto to play Shadow, so it can truly be Morbin time for Shadow. Here's a super chat from Chaos Sonic 1. Says Gemerald can fuse with Eggman tech if temporarily. Is it possible to get Gemerald to temporarily fuse with Bell or Omega and his super form is both?
Here's the thing. Apparently he can't. That was kind of the crux of Sonic 31 and 32. And I was told explicitly that he does not fuse with Egg Tech.
Yummy, yummy. Sadly. It's a shame. If he did fuse, that'd be fun. Tasty.
I mean, if he fused with Omega, you'd get Omega with that sick black and gold scheme.
That's true.
With probably that, like, 3-prong swoop on his little helmet head, and that looks sick as hell.
Yes. Nice. And we got another super chat here from Chaos Sonic 1. Breaking the one question thing for just this once because it was annoying as fan content fan. Shadik is fusion dance and Sonato is fusion rings.
Okay.
Sure.
I will accept that.
All right. Dragon Ball Z is weird, man. Here's one from Happy Times. Thank you. If Surge did have a Chaos Emerald on her, could she use Chaos Control since she was given Sonic and Shadow's biodata?
Maybe. It begs the question if she knows what Chaos Control is and has any idea on how to do it. Sonic pulled it off because he saw Shadow do it and just kind of gave it a shot. Surge, I think, would probably be in the same boat. She'd have to see it pulled off and understand what's going on. Otherwise, that is asking for disaster. She grabs it, shouts Chaos Control, and just creates a singularity and destroys the planet.
Turns out it wasn't Chaos Control. Turns out it wasn't Chaos Control, it was just Chaos.
And she gets spaghettified. She's like, I totally called it, it's worth
it! And our last super chat question comes from none other than Chaos Sonic 1. And again. Has the Monkey Con stuff continued? Would the personalities of the other cons been like the Z Fighters?
No, that wasn't where I was thinking. There wasn't really a lot to it. I had a lot of like very early ideas, but there was nothing concrete to follow up on. There was one idea of the Sheep Con, who I don't think we even had a name for, and I think the gimmick was that she was kind of wind themed and would have a giant fan to kind of complement Monkey Con's Atom Bat and John Kun's big old Earth Mace.
Well, there already was a big fan.
Oh, that's right, because there was the big fan. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, so I guess that's what she picked up. But that was like early conceptual stuff, and there wasn't a ton to go beyond that.
She had design.
Unapproved. And for the other cons, the very basic idea was that once Ken learned that there were others like him, other victims, he would go around trying to find their vaults and to wake them up and to help them, and that some of them would come along with him and others would not respond well. And then you'd get the Iron Queen in there who would take advantage of it. Some of them she would take control of, others would actually go to her cause for whatever reason. And at that point, it's kind of turning into its own book. And I remember when I was kind of very roughly playing with these ideas, it's like, this is a lot of neat stuff, but how is this a Sonic story? You know? And if this is just like backup stuff for Sonic Universe arcs, it's going to take years to go anywhere with it. It's like, do I even want to follow up on this? And then, never got the chance. So,
right.
And I keep, every now and again, I'll think of it, and it's like, if I just retooled this into its own standalone thing, would that be worth pursuing? And then I look at the backlog of other projects that I've left orphaned and abandoned on the side of the road. It's like, focus, Flynn, focus. So, there's not like a long lost con arc. It's just a smattering of ideas that never saw the light of day or never came together into anything cohesive.
God. Anyway, that's our last question. So, did you have more to add to that, Ian?
No, I think that's enough.
Okay, because we didn't get any more questions, but we do have two very nice super chat comments. We have one here from none other than Chibi Jenhen, aka Sonic Artist Extraordinaire, Jennifer Hernandez.
Hey, Jen.
Thank you for your super chat, Jen. Good to see you here. She says, no question, just a hello. Well, hello to you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we have another one here from Frost the White Lion. Just want to say hi and hope you're doing awesome. Thank you. Thank you, White Lion. Thank you, Frost.
Yes, and thank you for subscribing. Thank
Yes.
you to everyone who subscribed to this channel.
Yes, thank you for subscribing to the
addition to
channel and super chats and everything, for asking your questions, for being here, for joining us, for listening, for asking questions, all that stuff.
All the questions we didn't get to are going to be added to the standard queue.
There's a lot.
It is, and I am still looking at my schedule and options to try to dig into that backlog a little bit.
Yeah.
Because y'all are very patient. What else? Just a few days left over the Bumble Comic Shop for that 40% off sale. If you want to grab some books cheap, go do it now.
Do it.
It ends on the 31st. Coming up in June, we're going to be maintaining that 3 episode a week thing, except for that first week of June. We're going to, recover from the end of the month.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had one guest episode lined up for the month of June, so that's going to be fun.
Yep.
And otherwise, we'll see you
Soon.
Monday the 6th
Yes.
for Priority Q&A.
Yes, indeed. So, yep, you'll look forward to the rerun of this episode going up on Monday, the 30th. And then we will see you next week after that.
Super big thank you to Jennifer for helping manage the deluge of questions yet again.
Yes, thank you, Jen. Thank you. I love you.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
all we got.
About.
All right, let's get the heck out of here.
All right, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time on the BumbleKast.